The world's second largest arms maker is driving U.S. participation in the Saudi-led war in Yemen and making it as big as they can. It's turning it into a disaster, a humanitarian crisis. Brigida Santos joins me to talk about this. Brigida, you know, we see there's no real surprise here, is there? I mean, we see McDonnell Douglas, we see Raytheon, we see all the war pimps. This is like a heyday for them. By one aside, I'm always amazed at when Raytheon goes on and they advertise on, say, MSNBC or CNN, and you think to yourself, well, really, am I going to go buy a Patriot missile? What's that about? And it's about their influence. And so right now they have huge influence over, unfortunately, the last administration and the one before that and probably this administration. How much of a role does Raytheon play in Washington?
A huge role. Now, Raytheon executives, of course, claim that the company does not create U.S. policies, but merely helps carry them out. However, as you just said, the Obama, Trump, and now Biden administrations have all placed Raytheon lobbyists in senior roles at the Defense Department. First, there was William Lynn, followed by Mark Esper, and now we've got Raytheon board member General Lloyd Austin as our new Secretary of Defense. Austin says he's going to recuse himself from military decisions involving Raytheon for at least 4 years. Now, that is an improvement from Esper's position on the issue. But will the company still be unfairly favored when it comes to U.S. arms deals? Well, that remains to be seen. And it's incredibly hard to believe that that wouldn't be the case when Raytheon employees, owners, and family members continue donating to individual politicians. In 2019, Raytheon subsidiaries and affiliates reported over $4 million in lobbying expenditures, some of those to presidential candidates at the time. Now, Raytheon's influence in Washington also plays out on Wall Street. At times, the company's stock prices have directly correlated with U.S. arms deals, like in 2017, when Raytheon stocks hit record highs following Trump's announcement of that $100 billion arms sale to Saudi Arabia. So they've got a lot of influence.
Yeah, I'm just amazed by this story. I mean, because here we are, Saudi Arabia. If we continually build up their weapons possibilities. I mean, year after year, we know that Saudi Arabia at least is involved in stirring up terrorism all over the globe as Yemen is. But nevertheless, Yemen is kind of, it's a, low-hanging fruit. Let's go bomb Yemen. Let's ignore Saudi Arabia. And so it just perpetuates itself. And whether it's Obama, whether it's Trump, whether it's Biden, I don't care. War is good for Wall Street, and that's what we're seeing here with Raytheon. How has Raytheon driven U.S. participation up in Yemen?
Well, Raytheon is a major manufacturer of the weapons that are used in Saudi Arabia's war in Yemen, largely because of the company's long-standing ties with members of the Saudi royal family, many of whom have served as consultants. The company lobbies the U.S. government, and of course, as we just mentioned, it has insiders working at the highest level of the Defense Department. So this is just a business. Saudi Arabia is the world's largest importer of weapons, most of them from the United States, because right now, Riyadh does not have its own domestic weapons production industry yet, although it recently announced plans to start one, which is incredibly troubling. The U.S. has helped create the world's worst humanitarian crisis in Yemen just to keep its business partners happy. But that support is waning due to revelations about the widespread starving and killing of civilians. Washington's role helping one of the richest countries in the world kneecap one of the world's poorest countries is no longer acceptable in the court of public opinion, and there are alleged war crimes that have taken place there.
Oh, it's nonstop. It's just headline news all the time. And again, I can't, it's so troubling that we have this love affair with Saudi Arabia. We know what they're capable of, but nevertheless, Yemen is the small guy. Let's attack Yemen and let's say, gee, that's where terrorism originates. And look, no question it does. It is a hot spot for terrorism, but at the same time, it's all about the weapons industry. It's all about their stock. There's no way to dress that up. The new amendment, it's a new amendment. It aims to reverse the influence of corporations in U.S. policies and elections. What can you tell me about the latest challenge to Citizens United? What's happening there?
Sure. Well, lawmakers have reintroduced a bipartisan amendment to overturn the Supreme Court's ruling in Citizens United versus the Federal Election Commission, which, of course, that ruling gave corporations and America's richest people permission to spend unlimited amounts of money influencing elections. But unfortunately, this amendment has already been reintroduced every single congressional session since 2013 with no success. Now, if it passes this time, and it's a big if, probably unlikely, it would allow states and the federal government to regulate and limit money spent and raised by candidates in elections, and allow states and Congress to differentiate between natural and corporate persons, and then prohibit them from spending money to influence elections. But as I said, it's a long shot.
Brigida, it's dead on arrival. It's dead on arrival. The Democrats, they love the money. The Republicans love the money. And you're always going to have the influence of the weapons industry, always driving the train. And the argument is, well, gee whiz, they increase our GDP. We put people to work. Yeah, we put people to work killing people for no good reason. This thing that's happening in Yemen is a tragedy, especially when you juxtapose it with what we know about Saudi Arabia. And the idea of Saudi Arabia having the ability to manufacture weapons, if you don't get how scary that is, you're not paying attention. Anyway, thanks for joining me, Brigida. I appreciate it.